Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video we're going to be working on a Ford Fusion. I'm not sure what year is it. I think it's like a 2008 or 2009, but I'm about to bring it up on the frame machine and I'm going to show you guys the damage. Alright, so first off, I was wrong. It's a 2010. Now moving on to the damage. Let's start off with the front. The front looks pretty good. And moving on to this side, the fender is damaged. I'm gonna have to replace that. And then as you guys see, the door is damaged right here. I will be replacing that as well. The rear door looks pretty good, so probably is gonna stay. Probably not gonna replace that. And then the quarter panel right here. My goal here is to straighten it out without replacing it, because I don't really want to, start cutting the seams and stuff, and it's just gonna be a little too much work. So I'm gonna try to pull it out with my C-clamp in here, and hopefully I can get it out. If not, in the worst case, we'll just have to replace the quarter panel, which I do have a new one. And also, guys, this car is for a customer's car. I don't know if you guys remember or not, I did fix another one here probably a couple months ago, and he brought me that white Fusion that was for parts, and I am still using that white one to swap out all these parts. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty guys, so I'm test fitting the bumper and the tail light. Everything looks really good. The quarter panel actually came out, I'd say decent. I mean, the rest, the body guy will have to figure it out. And also guys, the suspension is damaged, so I'm gonna have to replace that suspension. I'm probably gonna replace everything, maybe except the spindle, because the spindle is probably not bent, but it looks like this one might be bent and the bottom one is bent for sure. And then of course I'm gonna have to replace the fender and the front door. The rear door is staying. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But for the quarter panel, I think I'm pretty much done with it. It looks pretty decent from this angle. I mean, of course it's gonna need some body work. And here's this side. The bumper is not mounted, but it looks pretty much the same, I would say. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the suspension right now. I will have to bring in the parts car in here and start disassembling that parts car. Alrighty guys, so taking a look at it closer, looks like this whole control arm is part of the spindle. It's connected to the spindle, so I'll probably just replace the whole spindle with the control arm, and I think everything else should be fine. Alrighty guys, so this is the old control arm right here. As you guys can see right there, it's bent and it is connected to the actual spindle. So I'm just gonna take it off the parts car. Once again, I dragged it in here with my Prius. So now we're gonna go over there, take off the suspension, probably take off the door and the fender as well, and drag this thing back outside. Alrighty guys, so I took the suspension out, the door and the fender off. So now I'm probably gonna go ahead and replace this suspension before I drag this car back out of here, because if any other control arms are bent, I'd rather take them off now than while the car is outside. Alrighty guys, so the rear end is pretty much done. The suspension is complete. The quarter looks pretty decent. Obviously it's gonna have to be bonded and painted, but over here the trunk closes great. All the gaps look perfect. So I guess now we're gonna move on to the front end. I'm gonna go ahead and take the fender off and then this door. And before I install the fender or the door, I have to paint the inside of the fender and the inside of the door. Alrighty guys, so the door and the fender is off. Now I'm going to go ahead and start prepping the new door and the new fender. I'll just scuff them down on the inside, and then I'm going to go pick up the paint and I'll start painting them. Alright guys, so this paint right here, they match it up for you in a can. That way you don't have to use a spray gun. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this paint to paint the inside of the door and the fender. Alrighty guys, so I put about 2 coats on here. This thing looks absolutely amazing. I mean, it just turned out really good. I might throw another coat or 2 on there. Same with the fender. This thing turned out really, really good. Alrighty guys, so the front end is finally done. The fender is installed. Let me show you guys the gap. This gap looks original. When the fender is original, it's easy to get the gap back to the original spot. Also, the door gaps look really good, and the door opens and closes great, so that's a good sign. And everything is assembled. So this is pretty much it. Now I can go ahead and take it off the frame machine and let the customer know that it's ready to go. Alrighty guys, so the car is finally off the frame machine. I'm gonna walk you guys one more time, show you guys the gaps and how everything turned out. Everything looks perfect. Here's the door. Opens and closes perfect. Here's this gap, and here's the hood and the fender. This thing looks really good. So this is gonna be it on this one. Alrighty guys, so I'm finally done with the car. It took me about 2 days total. It probably would have took me quicker if I didn't have to paint the inside of the door and the fender, but that's what the customer wanted, so that's what I do. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and also like my videos and share them with your friends, and follow me on Instagram at Rebuild with Nick. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.